Okay, we are live. All right, you guys, please share for this live event. It's free. Okay, so let's see. Before we begin, I want to talk to you guys about what I have currently in stock on the website. So I'm making some individual, pretty much customizable selenite wands. Okay, so this is one that I made for myself. This has the energy of a starseed energy that I created myself. But anyway, bam. So it's going to look like that. So you get a blank one and then you let me know what you want on it. Okay, you have options on the website. You have something like this, like a little labradorite focal charm or focal actual stone. Okay, or you could even choose freeform tiger's eye. This is a tumbled. Or you could even choose a double pointed little amethyst thing like this. It's pretty cool. And then I also have green fluorite as well. I don't, right now it looks all like it's really green. It just looks like this because of the light is hitting it, but there's actual rainbow inclusions in there. Every time I take care of these beautiful stone people, they get rainbow inclusions all like after not even 24 hours of being in my hands. Because I clear their energy, of course, and then I make sure that I talk to them and ask them what type of energy they want to share, and if they want to share it or not, and they'll tell me. And then, of course, if they want it to be recorded, then they'll tell me. So these are your volunteers right here that want recorded energy for you guys who are purchasing this. So they wanted to go home with you guys, whomever purchased them. Okay. So these are the ones that decided that they did not want my specifically to work as one of my stone people, but they wanted to work as one of you guys is out there stone people. Okay, so that's what I have in the shop. Hello. All right, and so I also have the Archangel collection is back on for Archangel bracelets. I have different ones this time, you guys. I know last time they were kind of like this, like the little, just the stones themselves. But oh, there goes the lights. It's the fairy folk. They're saying hi. All right. Hi. All right. So here's this one for Archangel Jophiel. This is actual real citrine right here. So this one's called kind of like a lime tree or something like that, or lime tree, because it's super light and it looks like lime instead of like what you would find that is like treated amethyst. So it's a little bit darker, a little bit more orangey color. So this is real citrine. Okay. And so this one is for Archangel Jophiel. It's actually available in the shop right now as well. Are you guys going to keep messing with this light? Because I'm going to just turn it off. Yeah. They're saying they're going to keep messing with it. And then, of course, I got Archangel Zadkiel right here with the grape, like intense grape amethyst. So this is really dark amethyst. This is one of my favorites because you can still see like rainbows inclusions in there as well. But it's and I just got these stones like a few days ago, and I already see rainbows. I was like, yay. But yeah, this was the Archangel Zadkiel. It's in the shop as well. And then one of my favorite ones is the Archangel Chamuel. Look at this one, the little rose quartz is so pretty. I love it. And so this is super, super soft energy, beautiful energy. I love it. But yeah, so this one's also in the shop. So if you guys are interested, just go to my website, StariAri333 at StariAri333.com. My Gmail is the same thing. So I'm like, oh. So anyway, we're going to do we're gonna do first. I want to have us open ourselves up to connect to our Syrian guides. So we do have the gateway that just went, in alignment with our sun, and then of course the Earth. Earlier today, I don't know if you guys felt it. I felt it last days already because I was like, okay, something's happening. I know somebody's fixed star is supposed to move in soon. And then I was like, oh yeah, it's Syrian. Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, so we're going to do that. I don't know if you guys have any tektites. I do recommend that if you do, we're going to use them. If you have any moldavites, all right, like I do, go get them. Because these are really cool for accessing, these higher frequencies, especially with the Syrian guides. I have a moldavite ring as well. And so I always use these in particular when I'm working with galactics, because it helps me connect to them better. And it does get a little bit chilly. So I'm just FYI, it's going to get a little bit chilly in your environment. Your nose might get a little bit cold, or your hands or your feet. So if you want to grab a blanket, you can do that as well. Whatever you need, okay? Because we're going to go ahead and connect to the star. It is a stargate because it's the sun. It's a star, and then gateway, whatever you want to call it, and anchor it into ourselves so that we can access our guides. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and turn off this light because they said they're just going to keep messing around with it. So I'll be back. There. All right. That's better. All right. So I'll wait a little bit longer for you guys. And thank you so much, Kayla. And thank you so much, whoever else sent me a gift of gratitude today. I so appreciate you guys. Let me check. Tonga, thank you so much for the gift of gratitude. So yeah, let's wait for everyone. Colby, hi Colby, hi Summer. Oh my God, Summer, haven't seen you in a while. Hey, hi Sherry. Oh, Sherry, I got your email. Okay, and then hi Tara. Hi, there's Sangha, and then we have Kayla, of course. Thank you again for the gift of gratitude, and Miss Lovely Eve. All right, so see, they're messing around back there. Did you guys see them? They're like. Whoosh, whoosh. All over the place, flying all over the place. Messing with me. They've been doing that. They've been on were they like? Oh, they've been when I go to the shower, I usually get a lot of insight. That's from my water moon. That's why. And then I start hearing giggling, and I'm just like, oh my God, you guys, come on, leave me alone. Like, let me have my private time. So I'm just like, okay, whatever. All right. So they're like giggling behind me too. The cats are back here. One of the cats is right outside the door hallway over there, and then they're keeping guard. They're so funny. Oh, and I did want to say that I just made more Syrian starseed candles too, for those who are interested. And I use labradorite because I feel that labradorite is such a magical stone. Because remember, there's a similar. Okay, they come from the similar family as moonstone. Okay, as well as. Let's see, moonstone, labradorite are the same family members. Okay, they just have different hues and tones. And so they're very magical. They're like portal accesses as well. So if you don't have any tektites or any moldavite, you can use labradorite as well for tonight. Is okay. So don't worry. Or you could use amethyst as well, because these stones are very high frequency too. Oh yeah, I'll have them on my page soon. So I'm making more. I have 3 so far. I'm just waiting for more of the tektites to come in because I ordered more tektites from actually the Ukraine. And so they take a while to get shipped in. Oh man. Yeah. I spent pretty much a lot of money on those. You got all 3, Colby? All right. Okay. So let me grab my grandmother and my grandfather. My drum, because we're going to connect to the earth, the Mother Earth, to anchor in the gateway portal. And then we're going to do some chimes, some koshi chimes as well. And this is what we're going to use to go all the way into the portal. And all the way to Sirius A. So we're using, we're accessing the portal in Sirius A. From there, you can go to different star systems within that Canis Major constellation. And if you want to go further out, go further out. Whatever you want to do. Fly wherever you want to fly. It's up to you, okay? So we're going to start with the grandmother and the grandfather drum. Because we gotta be anchored first into the mother, okay? Hi, Mara. All right, everyone. So I want you guys to, the first thing you want to do is create a circle of protection around you. And what you do is you could do it with your finger around your body like this. I create a circle of protection around me now. And then you call in the 4 directions, okay? So I call in the energies of the northern door. And then you move on. I call in the energies of the eastern door. And then you move on. I call in the energies of the southern door. And then you move on. I call in the energies of the western door. And then you move on. And I call in the energies of the mother below me and creator above me. And that is how you create your circle of protection, your sacred bubble, your sacred space, so that we can begin, okay? All right. So go ahead and do that. And then I'll go ahead and, hey, kitty. Rex. He's getting high on his stash right now, so sorry about that. Rex?
Don't worry.
Thanks. Can you take that toy away from him, please? Thank you. He's getting high, and so he's like, meow, meow, meow.
Wait. These are?
Yeah, take those away from him. Yeah.
These are from the water.
Yeah, take them away. Thank you.
Oh.
Right, Sherry? Oh, you thought it was your cat. Ah. All right, let's go ahead and begin. So let's go ahead and breathe in deeply. Exhale slowly. And I want you guys to imagine a beautiful white light in the center of your heart space. And with every inhale, you expand that white light. And every exhale, you release all of your worries, all of your stress. Okay, so continue to breathe in deeply, inhaling white light and exhaling slowly. And it's going to expand all around your physical body, purifying your cells, purifying your chakras, purifying your meridians, purifying your auric field. And from there, you're going to move it downwards. So we're going to go ahead and connect to the mother now. Moving it down deeper into the earth. Through the layers of the earth. Down, down, deeply. And you see a beautiful, deep, red, beating lava center. That is the mother's heart. Connect and ground that pure white light energy. Grounding deeply into her heart. She asks you to allow her to ground and anchor you onto herself. Allow, allow, allow. Now move her energy up through, mingling with your white light, beautiful green and red energy coming up through the layers. All the way up through the bottoms of your feet. Around your auric field, into your heart space. Now I want you guys to breathe it in deeply and exhale it slowly. Be in gratitude for she is anchoring you onto her, for she is wrapping you into her arms, and you are safe now. Now imagine this beautiful energy rising from your heart space and moving on up higher and higher and higher. You see it move and leave the atmosphere. Moving in up all the way through our sun soul, accessing that gateway and opening it up completely. All the way up, moving into and outside of our solar system. Moving further up, and you see the constellation of Orion. And directly next to Orion, you see Canis Major, Orion's dog. And they're at the chest of the canine. They're at the chest of the dog. You see Sirius A. And go ahead and dive into the heart space of that star, opening that stargate, opening that gateway, and spreading yourself all around the entire constellation. And from there, further spreading into different dimensions, into different realities, and finally into the heart center of Creator, moving into the oneness, connecting into the whole, connecting into the void itself. Breathe in deeply, and allow this connection to be permanent forever, as you are one, as you are creator, and moving the energy of the void, of the one, becoming two, becoming multiple, becoming creation. Move it all the way back, all the way down into the dimensions, into the different realities, and further down into the constellation of Canis Major, down into the heart space of Sirius A, moving it into the soul, into our sun, moving it into the earth, into you, into your heart, and expanding. We open now the gateway. We are the gateway. We are the gatekeeper. And we allow the connection to our higher self and Syrian guides to commence. And so it is. All right, you guys. When you are ready, you could come back, anchor it all in. You are the gateway. You are the guardian. All right. Okay, we're going to begin with some messages to see who wants to get a message from their guides. Let me know. So Kayla, you would like one? Okay, Kayla, let's go ahead and connect and see who is there with you. There are 3 beings that are approaching. They are aquatic beings, so they are mer people. They have different hues and different colors. One is really light blue, and the other one's like a very light pink. The other one's like a light yellow color. There's 2 feminine and there's 1 masculine energy here. So they are asking you to swim with the dolphins. They're saying, swim with us, swim with the dolphins. Be one with the water. Be one with the element within your heart. They're also telling me that emotional changes, fluctuations in yourself have been transpiring for quite a while now. There's a lot of growth happening in this manner. Your guides are saying, whenever you are feeling so deeply, that means you are interconnected. You're very interconnected when you feel everything so deeply. And don't allow yourself to doubt that interconnectedness. Don't allow yourself to doubt how powerful you really are at reading energy, at reading the room, reading people, things like that. Sometimes it gets overwhelming, and they say it's because we have to start to really allow ourselves to assist. Okay, so when you get this overwhelming feeling of wanting to cry or sadness, allow yourself to do that and just say, I am releasing this for whomever it is that I am assisting at this time. I do not need to know who you are. All I need to know is, all you need to know is that I am assisting you with healing. And so that's how you release that, okay? If you find yourself shifting in between emotions. Maybe, at one point you're really happy and laughing, and all of a sudden you just boom, it hits you like you're just sad. They're saying it is definitely because you're here to assist the collective in releasing and healing aspects of themselves, and you're picking up on that. And in so many ways, you release and heal aspects of who you are as well. Because remember, when we talk about the oneness is that we are all one. We are all one. We all come from Creator. We all are existing here in the physical world as separate entities, but in fact, in the higher realms and the void, we're all one. And so that's why you are able to connect, because you are perceiving that connection, the oneness. Okay. To further assist you, your guides want you to call them in, and you could just call them your Syrian guides, your mer people, whatever you want to call them, so that they can help you navigate the emotional intensity of these energies. As you being someone who is here to heal at a collective level, you are going to find yourself having to withstand a lot of difficulties, especially disappointments with society, disappointments with humanity as a whole. Allow yourself to feel that, because in so many ways, you are here to transmute that. You are here to assist in making these disappointments, alchemize themselves and turn into something like progress, right? And this can start with your own mindset of society. Sometimes we look at the very ugly of humanity, the very ugliness of the human spirit, and we forget that sometimes we can actually do something about that, by sending ourselves love, by sending the collective love. Okay, so that's what I have for you. I hope this makes sense, Kayla. All right. Mara, first time you felt so grounded in your life. That drum helps. You had dreams of dolphins. Oh, that's amazing. Yay. You're welcome, Kayla. Yeah. So about the Sirians, so there's different species that exist in this binary star system, right? So we have Sirius A beings, meaning that there's planets there, or even they exist in higher realms, right? And then we have the Sirius B beings, and then a lot of people connect to another star that is not. We're speculation here with Sirius C, meaning that there might be a star in between, but you cannot see it. It might not be something that our telescopes could find yet, but energetically, a lot of people have been tapping into that. This particular star itself is a higher realm. This is kind of like where a lot of guides come from or go to for lessons, right? Like how to be a guide, right? And so that's the same thing when you go to Sirius A and you travel there. This is where one of the schoolhouses are for guides. There are a lot of different schoolhouses everywhere across this galaxy, and of course, different dimensions. But the Sirian A ones are usually very aquatic beings. There are some blue beings too, like humanoid. And then, of course, there are reptilians, and there are like avian looking, like bird avis. That's why I call it avis, bird looking beings too. And then there are some Lyran too, because when the galaxy was becoming, or they were expanding population wise, some of them stayed there. Some of them stayed there because they were building, this very potent spiritual schoolhouse there. So a lot of our are guides who are magical beings, such as Merlin or the Merlin. Um, you know, with anything with witchcraft, anything with wizardry, anything with shamanism, anything with healing, things like that, they come directly from that schoolhouse, or you actually go there to learn these secrets. So the occult magic, things like that, you travel there at night to learn more about that, and to access more of your psychic abilities. And this is one of the primary schoolhouses for that. Of course, there's other ones in different galaxies, and you learn different type of magic. But for me in particular, when I used to access this area, it was always teaching me how to work with the elements, how to work with herbs, how to work with magic, also like creating magic, like kind of like creating like fire from my hands. And then the other time I had a dream, I was like, there was a fountain of water, and my guide was like, make the water dance. And I was like, make the water dance, because when I'm dreaming, I am myself. Like, I know what the hell consciously is going on, right? And he's like, make the water dance. And I'm like, okay, I'll make the water dance. And I'm like this, I went like this, and they started jumping everywhere. And I'm like, holy shit, it's dancing, So I was just like shocked. But anyway, that's my experience, with that, with magic, pretty much, is alchemy. And of course, guides, like you become a guide there. This is one of many of those initiations for you to become a guide. So yeah, I just wanted to clarify that, because that's when I connect there, I connect in that manner. And other locations like Orion, I would say that's a schoolhouse for how to navigate this world here. Because a lot of the stuff that happened in Orion is happening here now, and so when you're it's kind of like they're giving you like a blueprint on how to be human, or how to navigate this world, right? Like a blueprint little thing. They're telling you, okay, so when you confront someone about this is what's going to happen, right? So it's kind of like they give you the blueprint to duality, but also the blueprint on what consequences may come through the actions that you're taking, right? So a lot of karmic cycle understanding and things like that. I feel that's what Orion has taught me, at least. And then they do have their own magic as well, and it's more of like to me, it's more of like a darker side of magic, because you have to understand the dark and the light, and they teach you the little bit more of the darkness that's within all of us, of course, the shadow work and things like that. That's definitely an Orion imprint there. But anyway, let's move on to the next person. Hi, Mari. Mara, I might have failed the Orion school. I don't think anybody does. I think a lot of people are like, we're just like, all right, whatever, we ignore sometimes our dark side, or we. It's not that we ignore it; it's that we indulge it sometimes, and it gets us in trouble. So I feel it's I cannot, like, I had this experience with the Orions the first time, right? I was just like, oh shit, these are dark magicians. Like, these guys are cloaked in black, and they had like these crazy glowing tattoo symbols, and like very tribal looking, and like they were magic symbols written all over them, and they were like just wielding their magic, chaos. It was chaos magic. That's like what I saw. And I was like, holy fuck, these guys just don't give a fuck. Like, they're just like, bam, bam. I was just like, oh shit, and then I thought in my mind, oh my God, they're just doing whatever the hell they want. And then when I started to connect them more, because I got curious and I wanted to understand them better, because there was a little bit of a slight apprehension with them, and then I wanted to understand them better, and I was like, oh shit, you know what, this makes sense. Like they revealed to me like what I was doing in the many lifetimes before, when I used to be an Orion, and I was just like, shit, it's not that I was evil, it's just that I was so used to fighting and protecting myself constantly that I became the villain, eventually, right? The hero becomes the villain eventually, right? And so I was just like, holy cow, that's intense. And then they're like, it's not that like initially, when you're here to protect people, when you're here and you see devastation, you start to get angry and you start to get resentful and you start to build hatred for those who are doing this to your loved ones, all this stuff, and you revenge, it was like a big dose of revenge and stuff. And so that's what they were showing me in these many lifetimes. But of course, understanding how that is applicable to the human existence at this time is very relevant here. It's very relevant for us to want to let karma, of course, do what it's supposed to, but we also want to become karma sometimes, like I want to become that person's karma because this person did this to that person and I love that person, and it's so stuff like that. And so it does happen. Okay. And it's not about feeling guilty, it's about like learning your lesson. It's about like, okay, you know what, am I going to continue to fight a war with the opposition or with myself? Or like it's pretty much you're shadow boxing with yourself. That's what they were showing me. And as this is going to be continued, it's going to continue over and over and over every lifetime, or am I going to finally learn and break free from that and say, you know what, I'm going to let the universe take care of them because I know that the universe has my back. And sure enough, as soon as that happens, I shifted, like everything shifted. And it's funny because I never really, I kind of disconnected from caring for what happens to those people who wronged me. And then I would get little messages here and there, like years after, or even months after, oh, this happened to them or whatever. And I'm like, holy shit, at least I didn't have anything to do with that, right? Like the universe like got you right now. Like, so that's what Orion teaches us, right? But the series are about understanding the application of alchemy and magic, right? How to apply this to our world, how to believe in ourselves and our abilities. That's what these series teach us. And they do it in a very loving way. I think more than anything, one of the most famous Syrians you probably heard of was the Egyptian goddess Isis. And she brought that information, that magic, right? And healing ability to this world. And then of course there's other Syrians that you've heard of. There, of course, a lot of us that come from Sirius, is not necessarily that we're just Syrian, we're multidimensional, of course, but we gather a lot of our knowledge from that star, from that schoolhouse. And so when we have this opportunity to connect, we're just like, hell yeah, let's do it. Let's discover our past lives. Let's see what magic we have, right? All right. So, okay. Oh, my PayPal link isn't, is not, sorry. Oh, hold on. Oh, it's because the Venmo thing is like, what's it called? The Venmo is attached to it for some reason. It didn't make a gap in between. Oh, shit. Let me just type it out by itself. Hold on. There. Okay. Sorry. Like, keep typing. Telling you, technology is not my friend. All right. So let's see who's next. Sakila. Hey, will you stop getting high over there? So annoying when he's high. Sorry. Let me correct the All right. Hold on. Who? Into the awakening of higher vibrations. You are next, my love. He's high, man. Like he's high. He's like he can't chill, man. Like, why are you hiding? Why are you trying to be all active and stuff? Like, chill. All right, so let's go ahead and connect to your guides and see who's around you right now. Ooh. So there was a big influence from Sirius in, ancient Greece. And I just want to head this on there because for some reason your guide, when he stepped in, he's like, greetings, Olympian. And he mentioned you as being an Olympian. And I'm like, what? So he's like, greetings, Olympian. So this guide, he is a blue being. Let me just share how he looks because he's very it's like he's potent energy. So he's very slender, but he's not very tall. He's about I would say 5'3". So these types of Syrians are very short. 5'3". He has a little bit of a oval shaped head. He has his ears are a little bit pointed out. He does have what looks like a crystal in the middle of his forehead, and other ones around that go around decorating his head. And I say he's a he because they don't have an actual sex, but his energy is very masculine. Okay, so he said it's fine because we're human. We can't really. Yes, I know we're human. So his hands kind of have the fingers are kind of it's 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers, so it's not 5. And he's holding in his hand something. Let me just. Oh, it looks like pomegranates. So that's what he's holding, a pomegranate. Oh, okay. So there is a connection to Olympus in the way of the nymph energy. Is a nymph energy. When we look at Artemis. Okay, so Artemis energy is stepping in, and then we're looking at the nymphs that are frolicking in the forest. So these are the tree nymphs. And then of course you have the pomegranate trees, and then Artemis is around there. And for some reason she keeps pointing at your guide, and he points back at her they're kind of with the winking at each other. They're hilarious. They're winking at each other. All right, so they're definitely okay. So you have a definite connection to Artemis, to the warrior, as well as the goddess of the moon, right? But in particular, the huntress energy, where she's very protective of her forest, as well as very protective of her friends, the nymphs, and all this good stuff, right? He's winking still. And so he's saying, a lot of the lifetimes that you've had in Greek, in the Greek area, has been in worship of Artemis, and has been in so many ways you becoming a protege to her, and so becoming one of her students, right? Where you became the huntress, or you became the protector of women, you became the protector of animals, of nature. Okay, and that was the thing. And then he's kind of saying in so many ways, they've taught her things too. They've taught her how to work with with earth magic, how to harness the energies of the plants and animals to assist in communication in that manner, as well as for healing the earth. And so your Syrian guide is saying, this is something that you're very much inclined to learn more about, and then, of course, become aware of. Okay. So he kind of wants you to work with him and Artemis, of course, and the nymphs. So the fae, pretty much. And he wants you to connect more to, acknowledge your, the language. Oh, there goes a fairy. To acknowledge the language of the earth mother and the animals and the plant beings, things like that, so that you can use these energies to heal, okay, to heal yourself, to heal others, to heal the world. Okay, so that's what I have for you, love. Hopefully that makes sense. Oh, they messed with my camera again. Oh my God, guys. You're welcome into the awakening. And then Tonga, if you are here, love, I think I saw you earlier. Hi, everyone. Let's see. Colby over here. There you are, still Ripples Tarot. Okay, honey, I'm going to go ahead and see who's around you and what you receive, okay? Ooh. I haven't seen these guys in a very long time. So these are kind of like, okay, so like I said, there's different beings in Sirius, right? These beings, they do reside in Sirius A, and one of the planets that are like closest to the actual star. So it's like Mercury, right? So these beings are non-physical, and they're gold, like straight golden energy, like a star. Like they look just like sparkling stars in gold, right? So these are usually feminine, like feminine energy. So these are very tall beings. They're super tall. So whenever they come forward, they'll show like a little bit of their facial structure, and their facial structure is like a kind of like a, their noses are kind of like pointed up, and they have really high cheekbones and full lips, and their eyes are huge, like huge eyes, and then they're kind of like gold. Okay. And they do have what looks like hair, but it's not hair, of course, but it's just like the energy just drapes over them like a huge long, like, and it becomes like their actual what they're wearing, like a cape and a gown and things like that. It's pretty awesome. So these are non-physical beings, and these are guardians of that first planet. These are the first guides. That's what she's saying, of that first planet. So a lot of the, well, she's kind of explaining what's going on with you. A lot of the energies have made you retreat back into yourself, right? A lot of it has been expressed in a manner that it's unexpressible, meaning like you do not express it with words, what you've been going through, what you've been sensing. It's very hard for you to express it because there is no real words, right? The frequency itself, you understand it, you know it, you've become it. And so that, in that sense, you feel a little bit alienated because there's no way that you can explain the feeling behind that frequency, or how you can you relate to it. But you want to share this information, but you just don't know how, right? And they're saying you don't have to share, because this is at your essence that you are connecting to, the creator essence, the oneness, right? And so they want you to realize who you used to be, as when you used to be one of them. I wanted an energy, a pure golden energy, a pure star energy that just existed to absorb and observe the existence around them, right? And guided when they needed to. They didn't have to say so much, they just moved the energy and communicated in that way through energy, through frequency, without words, right? And so, that being said, don't feel like you're isolated. Don't feel like no one can understand you, because this is just an aspect just waiting for you to allow it in, okay? And this in so many ways is going to help you understand that not everyone needs to know you, right? Not everyone needs to know what you're going through or what how you're expanding and growing, okay? The right ones will know, okay? The right ones who are your soul tribe will know, okay? And they'll accept you without words, with just emotion and vibration, okay? And so they're saying, allow yourself to flow, allow yourself to be the guide that you are supposed to be, okay? Um, Take this time and do that, okay? Take this time and integrate that. And you don't have to explain, okay? So that's what I have for you, love Tonga. Hopefully this makes sense. Gold floating lights. You're welcome. Gold floating girls. You're giving them all names, huh, Colby? They're beautiful. I haven't seen them in such a long time. I remember when the first time that my guide took me on. Okay, so they took me on a spaceship, and they took me, and they had like this big, like, it looked like a star map, right? And it looked like it was a window and you could see the galaxy and stuff like that. And they took me to these beings, right? Because they're showing me all of the different creations in Sirius. And they took me to them, and I was just like, what the hell? Like, I was like, oh, I've never seen something so beautiful in my life. And I was like, oh my God. And so it was just frequency connection, and there's no words, it's just feeling it, feeling that connection. It was so beautiful. And then the expression, wasn't necessary. It was just all love, right? Pure love. And they're saying, a lot of the star seeds that are here on this planet are this being, right? These beings, right? Incarnated. And sometimes it's very hard for them to express how they feel or what they're thinking or what they're going through, because they just don't know how, because they're so used to just showing it through vibration, through love. And whomever receives it and whomever is really connected in that manner, whoever is their soul tribe, will understand them, right? And so I was just like, wow, that's intense, I'm just like, that's so beautiful, right? And so they went on to the next one, and then the other species and stuff like that. I was just like, fascinating, like, wow. Still Ripple says, I was trying to explain on YouTube and it's so hard, just like they're saying. Yep. Just be you, love. Yes. All right. So moving on, we got, let's see. Yeah, they're elf-like beings. Yeah, in Sirius. Yep. They're magical beings. So any type of magical being exists in Sirius, and they exist everywhere, of course, but more or less you'll see them more coming from Sirius. And dolphins, of course, cetacean beings come from there too. And then we got Susan Lee. All right, Susan, let's go ahead and see who's around you. Okay, so these guys are blue as well. So they're again 5'3", 5'4", 5'5". They're like, it's like 5 of them that came in. Dude, these guys are like jokers, I swear. Just cracking jokes. Okay, so one of them, so let me just show you why they're jokers. So one of them is like dressed all gussied up, like with jewels, like looks like bright jewelry and stuff like that. And the other 4 are just like his squad, right? And they're all dressed like plain. And I'm just like, there's no real okay. There's no hierarchy in Sirius, okay? There's none, right? But he does this because he's saying, I'm the main guide. He's like, I'm her main guide, okay? So I have to show off, right? So she knows that I'm the main one. And these guys are her guides too, but I'm the one that speaks as a collective, right? So he's the collective consciousness of your Syrian guides. I'm like, okay. I'm just like, all right, dude. Blink, blink out. It's funny. All right, so yeah, so they look like elves, right? But they're blue, and they're really small. Okay, yes, you're taller than me. Okay, fine, you're taller than me. He's like, I'm not small. I'm taller than you. I'm like, okay, you're taller than me. All right, so Susan. So these guys are here to teach you about alchemy. Okay, so he's showing. So this is what he's doing with his jewelry. He goes like this. He fans it and then it disappears, and then he fans it up and then reappears, and then he goes and grabs like what looks like gold, like a plain metal, and then he goes. Voila, and it's gold, right? So these guys are magicians, they're alchemists, okay? So they're teaching you about this. Let's see. So they're teaching you how to change. The fairy just went through like. So they're teaching you how to alchemize energy. So help to alchemize your emotions, right? Because our intuition is led by our emotions at times, and this is our guidance, right? Our guiding system. And so sometimes our intuition might say, "Oh, I see this," and then our emotions might be like, either one or two things, or two reactions happen in the emotional body. Oh, I'm curious, or fuck this. I'm not gonna fuck with that. And so he's telling you those two emotions are the guiding system that you need to explore alchemy even more. So if you really want to champion this energy, or you really want to possess the magician energy, the alchemist energy, you have to be curious about both. Okay, not just, oh shoot, that fuck that, I'm not exploring that looks weird, because you have to ask questions as to why it looks weird, why you're perceiving it that way, or why you feeling it in that manner. Okay, like what's it teaching you about the world itself, or what you're going through right now, right? Because sometimes a lot of people don't realize that they become the creator of things that are here to teach us, like, hey, your mindset has been dark lately, your mindset has been cycling through negative emotions, and all of a sudden you're manifesting this negative being, or what you think is a negative being, and because you haven't really dealt with what's going on internally, or why you've been thinking this way, or why you've been having a hard time, right? It's more like a day-to-day thing. And so that's what he's saying. It's like you have to explore the shadow as well as the light, right? And when you explore both, then that's when you're in harmony, that's when you're in balance, and that's when these things that we associate with darkness and things like that no longer have the influence that they have, because we're exploring and asking questions of them, right? And they dissipate and they no longer exist, Okay. And so he says, you becoming that alchemist, the ultimate magician, is very important for you to balance in within your energies. And he's also saying, be the Joker, be the trickster as well, right? Laugh at them, laugh at yourself, right? Laugh at your darkness too, because how can we go through life being so serious? You know, don't be serious, Syrian. That's what he said. Stop being serious, Syrian. um, we have to laugh at this, you know, because we have to survive somehow, right? And so that's why he was like showing off, right? Because he's like, you got to do that too. You got to do that too. That dance of balance and the being the trickster as well as the alchemist, being the feminine as well as the masculine, being dualistic as well as equilibrium, you know, things like that. So that's what I have for you, Susan. You're welcome, Susan. Yeah. All right. So that guy was funny, man. All right. So Pamela Hart, let me know if you're here, darling. We'll explore yours as well. And then oh my gosh. See, this is why I love working with the Syrians, because they're different. They're just colorful, right? There's different types of them, and it's just like they just come in and they're just like bam, you know. And then of course they're all magical. So I love that. Let me tell you a little story about my lifetimes, because I've been there so many times in Sirius. So there was this one time when I was a little girl where I kept seeing the gray beings, right, coming close to me and absorbing me. And, you know, I'm just like, why the fuck are they around me, right? And they were just like, they're at a distance. They would never get too close. They would just be like peeking over a shelf in my room or just underneath the bed, like looking, you know, and in the closet, sneaking a look, right? An observation pretty much. And I get really pissed off. Like something in my heart was like, I'm gonna kill them, right? Like this, me as a little kid, because I get so pissed at their invasion, like the invasion of privacy and you know, things like that. And I was just like, I'm gonna get what I was just like, hey, you need to leave or else I'm gonna get you, you know, like that. And they'll just like poof, they'll be gone, right? And I remember one time, the first time that I ever met one of my Syrian guides. He was a wizard being, so very Merlin type of energy, and he was the one teaching me about alchemy and then the different elements and like with lighting fires and making the water dance and things like that. And then he showed me this one time where I was like, I wore all red. It was like, even though I was a blue being, I wore all red because that was like the initiate that I was in the I forgot what he called it, but red and gold. And he wore like silver and white. And so there are different types of magician initiates. So there was the silver and white ones, which were the higher, kind of like the higher ones. And I was like a protege, I guess, in silver and in red and gold, right? I was like next, kind of as powerful, but not as much. And there was a war that happened, right? And there was the grays that were the ones that are giving information. So the kind of like the sneaky ones just gathering information, didn't want to fight. And then there was the reptilian beings, and these guys were huge. These guys were, oh my God, these guys were like 7 foot. And here we are, 5 foot nothing, right? 5'3" beings trying to fight these reptilians. So they were fighting with brute force, right? They didn't have magic, so they were just smashing things and like, you know, swords and things like that. And we had our magic, and we just like would wipe them out. Like I would just go like whoosh, and they will just like fly off, you know, and stuff like that. And then so we were winning that battle, right? And then how I got too cocky, All right, I got too cocky and I decided to walk in front of all these big motherfuckers. And I was just like, and I just went whoom, like that. And they like pushed them all back. Then I didn't realize that the little grays were actually sending in their own magicians or their own wizards. And poof, they appeared right in front of me. And these guys were black, like wearing black cloaks. And these were like the Orions, the benevolent ones, not the benevolent ones, right? They kicked my ass because I got too cocky. They pushed me like pretty much knocked me out. And then I felt when I came to, I was face to face with one of the reptilian beings in this big face, like a huge face and like these teeth. And he was like laughing, like this evil laugh, because he had me by my neck and he went like snap my neck. And then I woke up and I was like, oh shit, what the fuck? And I was like, oh fuck. And so I was like, holy shit, dude, I got cocky. That's what happens when you get cocky. And so I was like, damn, man, I learned my lesson, didn't I? And so I remember, like as a little kid yelling at these grays. And then when they showed me this is why I don't like them. Because they're cowards, okay? They were cowards, right? They just would give communication. They want to get off their ships, right? And so to me, I thought they were cowards and they were just like little spies, and I hated that, little weasels, right? Like telling people, hey, this is where they're at. Hey, this is their secrets, right? And so as an adult, I had to get a lot of, I had to heal a lot of this stuff, so I don't have so much anger and resentment and hatred towards them as well as reptilian beings. Not all of them are that way, but, them specifically in these lifetimes that I had to really let go of that, right? And so finally they stopped bothering me. Like I've never seen a gray ever again, when I started doing the shadow work and I started healing that, and I've never seen a reptilian being ever again. So I was like, hell yeah. I was like, I conquered that, in my own, of course, in my own mind. But yeah. Colby said I posted a meme about a wizard on my IG story right before we started this. Ah, that's awesome. Yeah, you'll see that shit a lot. Like, I know a lot of people have been going through these cycles too with the grays and the reptilians. I'm just telling you right now, when you finally are at peace with that lifetime, like, hey man, I had to learn this lesson because I was too cocky, I was too arrogant, I thought I could beat their asses, and obviously I was. I got my ass handed to me, and be at peace with that, like, because now you're in a different lifetime, now you're a different life path, and you're headed towards something better, things like that. Then you don't ever have that hatred in your heart anymore for them. More or less, you just send them love. Like, I'm sending you love because you need it the most, bro. Like, that coward shit. You gotta evolve from that. So that's definitely what's gonna happen later on. All right. So, who do we have next? Call me exactly how you lost that fucking eye there. We probably were on the same battlefield and our arrogant asses were thinking, we could beat these guys. At least you lost an eye. I lost my fucking, my neck. All right, so I'm just gonna pick randomly. All right, so Lizzie Darko. I'm gonna do a quick one for you. Okay, Lizzie. All right, let's connect you. Let's see who is around you. Oh, you have the hybrids. Okay, so like I said, there's different species. So there is also some interspecies mingling here, okay? So you have the hybrid Lyrans, the Lyran Syrian beings. So these look very cat-like, but also have the features of like how, you know, those legends where they have like the different animal parts coming together, like different like the sphinx, for example. That's one interspecies thing. And then you have like the what's the other one, the one with the metal band. There's a metal band called it Chimera, that one. And then so yeah, so your guys look like Syrians slash Lyrans. So they are not too tall. They're about like, I would say 5'7". Okay, they're kind of tall for me because I'm short. But they're about 5'7". So a real Lyran would be a little bit taller than that, but like 6 foot, right? 6 foot to 7 foot. But because they're they're hybrids, they're different. So this one is a male, and then there's a female. And they're twins. Apparently, they're twins. So their features are very cat-like, but they're also a lot of human features. Like they look more human because of that Syrian aspect, right? Because the Syrians look like us, sort of, but their heads are a little bit bigger. Okay, so and they're blue, so they're elf-like, right? So this is how they look. And so the girl, she's wearing like this really tight-fitting it looks like she's wearing rhinestones, but it's actually her energy peering out, and her shoulders are like, well, the style looks like this triangular looking style, right? So she looks very futuristic in my opinion. And it's like the it goes to drops down into her belly, and then she has like a lot of little stars, like symbols right there. So she's a witch. That's what she says. She is the high priestess. Um, but her brother's like, she's a witch. Her brother's being a hater. And her brother looks just like her, but he is dressed in green, like a dark green, and like dark green, like tight-fitting clothing as well. So she is a high priestess, but of course her brother wants to be a hater and say she's just a witch, whatever. So, and he's a warrior. Okay, he's a warrior. Okay. All right, so both of them are coming together to teach you of these aspects of yourselves that are within you already. You have the high priestess aspect as well as the warrior aspect, okay? The hybrid, okay? So this is coming from the connection between the Syrians being the witches, the wizards, the magicians, and the Lyrans being the conquerors, the rulers, the knights, the warriors, right? So that's what they're showing, and this is some aspect that you have to work on, so that you can become that as well. Okay, there. So you can become that as well, so that you can step further onto your path without fear. Okay, so conquering the fear. How does the high priestess conquer fear? She embraces it. She embraces the shadow. She works with it, right? She shares her love of it as well as the light within it. Okay. How does the warrior conquer fear? He dives into it head first. He allows himself to be engulfed in it as well as to conquer it from the inside. Okay. And so for you, my darling, they're saying when it is time for you to step further onto your path, onto your role as a guide out here, then you will need these aspects so that they can show you the way. Okay, they can show you the way to conquer your fears about being seen, as well as to conquer your fears about the unknown. Okay, like future plans that are unknown, or things like that. So this is definitely something that they're saying will be beneficial for you to work with. Okay, sorry, they keep messing with my all right. Okay, so that's what I have for you, Lizzie. Okay. And then Pamela, let me know where you are, Pamela Hard. Colby. It probably is cancer. They're probably it probably is. Those two, man. Oh my god, it's so funny. Their interactions are hilarious. So let's see. Anastasia Pentecost. I think I saw you earlier. Hey, love. Let me know if you're still here. Lizzie, you could call them, yeah, they're like kind of like they're still around. They're saying you could call us the twins. Or you could call them those placements too, because they definitely have that type of energy too. It's pretty funny. So when you work with them, just whatever you want to call them. They're always around, right? All right. Okay, so let's do a random pick again. Maggie, Magzand. If you're still here, let me know. If not, we're going to do another random pick. Your Venus and Mars, they probably are, dude. Like I said, one's the warrior, the other was the high priestess. So whatever you think they are is perfectly fine. They said it doesn't matter. We're around. Okay, so Colby, I guess you're gonna be next then because no one else answered. So Colby, you're picked randomly now. All right, Colby, let's see who's around you. Ooh, okay, so all right, so there's two beings. So there's two different types of Syrians. So we have the aquatic Syrian, so the mer being, but it's not a mer being. It's more like I don't know if you've ever seen, so it's humanoid. It doesn't have a tail. Well, it does have a tail on the back end, but it doesn't have like the mermaid tail or whatever. It has two legs, and it has little what is it called? Like webbing in between the hands and the feet. And then the face is human though, because it's a hybrid. So the face is human. The actual body itself is like a lime green colored body, like, and then we have the ears that are like they're also kind of like fins, and then we have like the in the back end of it, he has like some type of writing that goes all the way down the spine to the tail. So he's like a hybrid aquatic being with Syrian blue being, but more of the green because there's a light green color tint to him. So this guy is really strong. Like he is a fast swimmer, but he's really strong as well when he is on land. Like he can like lift things from like the ground and push things up and things like that. So vibrationally, that's what he's saying. So vibration, so the use of vibration is what helps him with lifting heavy objects. I don't know if you've ever seen this, but he's kind of pointing at this one thing. I think it's in California where this guy created this castle looking thing. It's not a castle, but it's like these stones, these heavy stones by himself, and nobody knows how he did it. But I guess it was like vibrational technology or something like that. Well, anyway, your guide is telling you you have the ability to do this. Okay, you have the ability to shift things vibrationally, not only like shifting the vibration of a room, but also lifting things, objects through vibrational technologies. And he's like, I don't know, he keeps emphasizing this. And then the other guy that showed up is an actual Syrian being, a blue being. He's smaller. This hybrid is pretty tall. So he's like the hybrid guy is like about 6'5" to almost 7 foot. And then the Syrian is 5'3", and so he's taller than me, of course. So the Syrian guide is saying, Matt, there he's a magician too. Okay, so he's a wizard. And he's saying a combination of both a magic and this technology will be very successful in what you're doing here. So making your own spirit technology, that's what he's calling it, spirit technology, an object that you use to do this stuff. Okay. This is pretty cool. Like I'm the schematics of it, like the blueprint is already in here. That's he's saying it's in here when it comes to you. You already know how this thing looks. But how are you going to build it? That's going to take a while for you to like access, because you have to be belief. Belief is important here. Okay, so believing in your magic is important, and your ability to create this. Okay, very, very important for you to create this tool. So this will be like vibrational technology, spirit technology. So it's some technology and magic combined together. Okay. Let's see what else they're saying. He's kind of like, so the hybrid, he's using the the other guy, the Syrian, and he's going like this. Whomp, whomp. Like, and he's making that noise with his hand, but he's like, imagine that's the thing, right? The technology, whomp, whomp. And I'm like, okay. But anyway, he's saying it helps instantly align a person's energy field. It helps instantly heal a person. It also helps into the like cellular restructuring, because it is vibration as well. So when we think about an atom is vibration itself, because they're saying, oh, there's nothing, in between the molecules and things like that, but that's vibration. Okay. And so when you rewire this, you rewire a whole person, right? And it allows for healing, instantaneous healing. And then you can do that to the world itself. You can do it through helping yourself move heavy objects if you want. I don't know what you're going to use it for, but I feel like it's more for you to use it on people. But yeah, so he's just showing. I'm telling you, your guys' guides are freaking hilarious, dude. But yeah, so that's what he wants you to know. Okay, so whopping people. So that's what I have for you, Colby. You've seen this in a past life regression? Awesome. Womp. Yeah, green webby legged boy. He's like, whatever. Doesn't care what you call him. Oh my God. Lizzie says Colby should listen to dubstep. I would say yes, you should, because you might get ideas from that, the vibrations, Oh my God. All right, let's do a random pick. And where does the mouse stop? Mara. If you're still here, let me know. Oh, J-Lo, you didn't? Oh, son. Yeah, you know what? YouTube, I don't know if this happens to you guys, but it happens to me often, where I like subscribe to a channel and I put on the notification bell and I don't get any notifications. So I'm just like, what the fuck? All right, Mara. So we're gonna go ahead and see who's around you. Okay. Let's see. All right. So these are like I said, they're ave beings or like bird beings or whatever. So this one's stepping in. This is like a white bird looking being. Um, their facial structure is not like what you would think like when you think about Horus, like with the beak and stuff. No, they're more like human looking. And they do have like a sort of looking like a beak thing, but it's whatever. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but they have white. It's all white. Like everything's white. And their wings are actually attached on their back, so they look pretty angelic, but they're not angelic. That's what she wants to know. She's not angelic. She's Syrian. And then of course she has like her little bit of like longer nails at the end of her fingers, and they're 3 fingers. They're not a full hand like we have. And then her legs are slender, and her feet are the same thing with 3 what look like talons or toes. She's wearing kind of like a very like delicate looking silk thing around the areas or whatever that she needs to hide. And then she has like her hair kind of goes up a little bit, kind of like to me it looks like a mohawk. But that's like her feathers or whatever. And then her eyes are huge, like these big, like crystal looking blue, crystal, very light blue, almost white looking eyes. And then let's see. So she has like a box in her hand, like a little golden jewelry looking box thing. And she just opened it up, and there's like music that's like you can see it moving in the air, like the notes and stuff. And then it's going into like a planet, and it's like cleansing and purifying, right? So she's kind of saying this is something of a healer's ability, right? Where we use music and tone to assist with our own healing, as well as our own expression of emotions, right? So she's thinking about when you listen to music based on your moods. All right, but you can also use the same music to help with your self-healing, as well as to help with the healing of others. Okay, and it doesn't necessarily have to be meditation music. It could be tones, like how I use the drum to connect people to the earth mother, and then how I use the chimes, because they're higher frequency, to connect you to a higher frequency realm, like with your Syrian guides. You can do the same thing with yourself, with your own tone, with your voice, with instruments, with choosing like music, that you've probably heard when you were a kid, and it reminds you of like nostalgic things, so that you can help with your inner child, accessing your inner child. The same thing with people who you're working with. Maybe ask them, what was your favorite song when you were a kid? So that they can access their inner child when you're working with them, right? Or what's your favorite song to cry for, to cry with, right? So they could do a purging, right? To cry, to let out the emotion. And so you can do this, and it could be modern music. It doesn't have to be meditation music necessarily. It could just be setting the mood, right? And so that's what she's explaining. This will help with uplifting yourself, with healing, as well as doing the same for others. So with your voice in particular, it's about guidance. Okay, so guiding, using a tone in particular when you are talking to someone that you're trying to help them connect. in this manner, right? And for the healing to commence, such as if you're doing energy healing on someone and you're just like, now I want you to connect, like, softer voice or whatever, things like that, whatever you want. But anyway, she's kind of showing this is something that you've done before, and it's so funny because they're bird beings. And so they're seeing a lot. They sing a lot. And that's how the frequency of their voice, that's how they use it to heal other species out in Sirius as well as themselves. And then that music box, like I said, it represents modern music. It doesn't represent just spiritual music or anything like that. It's just whatever is nostalgic, whatever will set the mood for you to connect to that aspect of yourself that needs healing, or to the aspects of others who need healing. Okay, so that's what I have for you, Mara. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. So even that with the like a monotone is good for hypnosis. If you've ever explored hypnotherapy, the tone has to be a steady tone. Okay. It doesn't have to range up and down, right? The up and down tones are good for singing and stuff like that. But the hypnosis energy and tone needs to be steady, right? So that will definitely be something that you can do too. Okay, Mara? You're welcome. All right, Anastasia, there you are. So we're going to do yours, okay, Anastasia? Let's go ahead and connect. Oh, okay. So here we go. We have some hybrids coming in. So we got 3 types. We have the Syrian Lyran hybrids coming in. We also have the Syrian Octurian hybrids. So these are very tall beings, the very, very tall beings. And then we also have the Syrian aquatic hybrids. Okay, so okay. So they're kind of like explaining where you're at this moment and the reasons behind it, right? They're saying, okay, there's different aspects of you that needed to be explored. Therefore, that's why you've decided to take the time to do these things, right? It doesn't mean that you are not connected. It just means that at this time, these things need to be done. Okay. There are different seasons for different things. And that's what one of the hybrids is saying. Like the seasons change, so does your work. So maybe this season is about exploring the home, right? The home, the family life, and how you feel in this environment. And then for next season, it might be being more social and putting yourself out there more and things like that. So with the Leo aspect, right? And so you really feel the shift in between the seasons, such as Cancer season, Gemini season, Taurus season, things like that. And you're really moving through them the way that you're supposed to. And this is kind of rare for a lot of people, because I know for me, I don't really like, I'm like out there doing my shit, like on my bullshit like always, and so I sometimes don't connect with the seasons until like halfway through, right? Halfway through that they pull me in, like, hey, you need to connect to Cancer energy, or you need to connect to Leo energy or whatever, and I'm just like, fuck, all right, come on. Gotta come down now. So you really do transition into it like right away. As soon as, even before the actual season begins, you're just like, oh, there's something shifting. There's something really, really different here, and then you start to be more of a homebody. You start to take care of your stuff at home with the Cancer season, take care of the family, take care of what needs to be done, like the home life and things like that. And then for Leo season, you're going to be like, all right, let's go explore some new places. Let's go do some meditation in the wild, or with other people, and be social, right? And so that's going to happen with you. And then of course, then Virgo comes in, and you're just going to be like, all right, I want to go home now. I don't like people anymore. I'm tired of their shit. And so it's just, you're definitely moving through the seasons, and that's what they want you to say. You're diversifying your energy. You're allowing the energy to walk you through it. You're allowing it to take charge of what's happening in your life, things like that. Exploration is important. It doesn't mean that you are neglecting your spiritual path. It just means this is actually a part of it. Okay, this is really in line with it. And so these hybrids are saying, be the hybrid that you are, and allow yourself to go through it. Allow yourself to flow through it. Your idea of spiritual growth is way different than somebody else's, so don't compare them. Okay, that you are in alignment, and you are where you're supposed to be. Okay, Anastasia. So that's what I have for you. Okay. All right. So we're going to do a random. All right. Let's see. Oh my God. I'm all burpy now. April here. Is April here? So Miss April Thomas. Are you here? Let me know. Oh, I've been like scrolling up and down that, like, this kind of froze a little bit. So these weirdos are already popping off some fireworks, and it's not even 4th of July yet. There you are, Miss Lovely Eve. All right. So we're going to go ahead and connect and see who's around you and see what messages they have for you. Ooh. So we have the Hathors that showed up. So the Hathors are kind of like a group consciousness, very, very much similar to the goddess Hathor in ancient Egypt, right? So very love beings, right? So this is how they look like. They do look like, so they have these weird looking ears, right? They kind of like come out like as a point. So they kind of look like pixies, but they're not. And they're hybrids too. So they have like the, kind of like the cat-like face, like the bottom, like the nose and the lips, and then the big beautiful eyes, like they're huge, and they're kind of like a light green, and they do have hair, but their hair is like wavy, very wavy hair, kind of like a red color, and then of course their skin tone is like a very yellow, like a creamy looking yellow type of skin. So it's like creamy to yellow. And then they're wearing like these beautiful robes, and they're like dancing around. So they're similar to like the fairy, but like they're pretty tall. They're about like 5'7", almost 6 foot tall. So they call themselves the Hathors, because they have a very much the similar energy and frequency as love energy. And so this is something that they're kind of telling you to explore, exploring that love energy within you, the sensual side of you, exploring the feminine. One of them is belly dancing. I don't know if you belly dance or if you want to learn how or something, but she's saying, she's kind of like moving her hips and moving her abdomen and doing all that stuff. I don't belly dance. I have a belly, but I don't belly dance. But anyway, she's showing, these movements, these sensual movements and very seductive looking movements, but also this energy, this movement brings forth love frequency. This is how they anchor in love of the self, love of the body, love of the mother, love of the creator, love of the goddess that they are, right? And this is something that you're supposed to emulate too, becoming that loving goddess, that Hathor energy once more. Because they're calling you sister, so you've been initiated into that Hathor energy before. You were one of the initiates, and of course you knew all of this, and so it is definitely something very beautiful as well as very feminine. Because sometimes you might feel, okay, I don't feel very feminine today, like I feel like especially when you're on your moon, I feel bloated, I don't want to do anything. That'll help with the bloating, with minimizing it too. Like when you do that energy movement with the dancing and stuff like that, it'll help with releasing the bloatedness that comes from the moon cycle, right? And it'll help you flow. The energy will flow better, okay, in your body too. And that's the same thing with flow of energy. So any stagnant energy that you might feel needs to be released. You do this through dance, okay? You do this through movement of it, okay, outside of your body. So that's what I have for you, Miss Lovely Eve. You used to have a strong interest in belly dancing. You say you should do it. Yay. Oh. All right. Yeah, Lizzie. You're right. Octurians do have that similar energy. So with the Hathors, they're more of like a consciousness, right? They traveled from location to location to location to spread the word of love and the divine feminine, right? So the Hathors exist in Sirius, they exist in Octurus, they exist in Orion, they exist in Lyra, they exist here on this earth. They exist everywhere. So that feminine beings, even masculine beings, can connect to the feminine aspects of themselves. You're welcome. All right. So yeah, so that's definitely something awesome. Okay, so we have let's see, Jacqueline Lopez. Is that you, J-Lo? That's funny. Thank you, Lizzie. Love you too. Okay, Lizzie, do you know the meaning of your last name, right? Guardado. I always, like, whenever I used to see this last name, I was like, what are you keeping? What are you hiding? What are you locking up? I always saw that, like, when I always see that last name. That's so funny. Something that you're locking up, something that you're hiding from the world, something that you're keeping to yourself. Yeah, I'm really calling you out, huh? Your last name calls you out. Putting away your bullshit. I love it. I love it. That's funny. 'Cause like we sometimes do emulate, our names, right? That's why we're named this, right? All right. All right, J-Lo, let's go ahead and connect. All right, J-Lo. Let's see who's around you. Oh, you also have a hybrid. So there's two of them. There's a sphinx looking type of hybrid, but not with the lion body, but a humanoid body, but with the features of a lion too, but the face looks human. She has like gold plates, like golden plated around her. So she has like these what are they? She's very revealing. So there's gold swirls, right? And it covers up what needs to be covered up. And then on her bottom, there's just a little silk sheet that goes there. So it's very Egyptian-esque, that type of energy. Okay, she said she was around in Egypt. Okay, cool. And then we have another hybrid next to her, and this is a masculine guy. Very masculine, very tall, very huge. This one is this one is an actual hybrid from Lyra and Actress. So there's two energies here, but lives in Sirius and lives these migrations that happen in Sirius. So they're Syrian, of course, but that's who I see as the hybrid. So the actual bigger person being, that's a healer. And then the other one, she's a high priestess, but she works with plants. So she works for the physical aspect of things, and he works with the spiritual aspect of things. Okay, so the spirit and the physical coming together to create, or to actually interact together to bridge that gap in between the physical world, which we are living, and the spiritual world. So this is something that you yourself are here to do through the exploration of your own guides and guidance systems, such as your intuition. And so this being the feminine one is teaching you when you're sleeping how to be more attentive to your garden, such as what are you growing in your garden? When you go outside, what are you communing with? Do you recognize the different species of animals coming to you? Do you recognize the different species of plant life that are around you that you can use for healing and stuff like that? Teas and herbs. What's your favorite type? How does that make you feel? Do you commune with the spirit of the tea, of the herbs, to assist you with connecting to your own need of it and healing? And then the masculine one, he's asking you, belief is important in order for you to do this healing work. Belief in the spirit world, belief in your intuition is super important. That is how we access the spirits that are in the physical. That's how we access the knowing in our physical body, through the spirit, through the connection there. Okay, the merger. Okay, so he's like, there's a merger. He's like, there's a merger happening here, right? And so an exploration of this is very important. I know there's a lot of information out there, but you can intuit it yourself. Okay, so if you speak to the plants, like for example, if you have roses out in your garden and you say, okay, what can I use you for? Like you actually talk to it. It's like, can I use you for something? And then how much can I use for this? Things like that. They'll tell you. Okay. And then of course, when you go with the animals, the animal guidance that you get, like such as they appear to you, you just ask them, what is your message for me? Like I said, there's things out there that they're defined. This animal represents that. Don't go for that. Go for what you intuitively are being told by the actual guide. Okay. So like say for a rabbit shows up and you're like, oh, the rabbit represents this, and this, and that, or whatever. That's what the Google said. No, you talk to the rabbit and ask it, what is your message for me? Okay, because they're going to give you a message that you yourself need for your own growth. Okay, so that's how you trust your intuition. That's how you work with it. Okay, not necessarily listening to just that's good advice here and there, like there's definitions here and there, but they're not the ultimate thing, right? Because we interpret things differently based on our filter, based on our needs. Okay, so that's what they're saying. Okay, so based on your needs, based on your connection, is important to rely on that. Number one. Okay, more than anything else. All right, so that's what I have for you, J-Lo. Yes, you smell everything. Oh, you talk to your canary, your kids think you're weird. That's funny. All right. Okay. So, Chris, are you here? Let me know if you're here, Chris. Yeah. Yeah. You guys have your own little communication is good. All right, Chris Garcia, let's go ahead and connect. All right, so we got wizarding energy coming in. We have a Lyran looking being hybrid with a Sirian. So this guy is pretty huge. This guy's coloring is different though. This is like a silver coloring. So it goes from blue in the middle of his face to silver. And then so he's wearing like these robes too. These blue with white robes. And then we have a real Syrian, of course, who's wearing silver with white robes. Okay, so that's their different types of wizards in Sirius. They're different levels of wizardry, but these two are showing up more. So one, it represents the energy of alchemy and how to transform basic metals into gold, or basic energy into light that can be used for yourself, for healing purposes, for environmental stuff, as well as transforming your home into higher frequency energy. And then the Syrian himself, he is kind of more of like a central arts or physical transformation. That's what he provides. So transforming through a practice of discipline, such as martial arts, such as something with movement. I don't know if you do Tai Chi, but you might want to look into Tai Chi. So it's just like slow and steady movement, so that you can get the discipline, but you could also move energy. Okay, move energy from above into your body and down below, from the west into your body, and all this stuff. So Tai Chi would be something you'll benefit from. So he is more of like that type of magic, okay, or like more physical magic. And then the hybrid is saying, when we start to transform our mindsets, that is how we begin to alchemize our world around us, how we begin to manifest the world around us. It starts with the mindset, okay? And then in disciplining the mind, we then discipline our own selves, and therefore transform our life the way that we want it to go, okay? So that being said, when you're alchemizing a thought, is about catching the thought. Like, imagine the thought coming out of you. and growing and growing and growing, and then you catch it real quick and you like shrink it, and poof, it's gone, right? You just alchemized it. And then you replace that thought with something positive, and you allow it to grow and grow and bloom in your mind, and let that be in who you are, and you become it, right? That's something very important, because when we have self-doubt, or when we have repetitive cycles of negative thoughts in our heads, that's what we need to do. Okay, we catch and alchemize it to transform our mindset about ourselves and about our environment. And then from there, the magic happens, right? Through the physical body, through the discipline, through the manifestation within the physical itself. Okay, and so he's kind of explaining all this, the become the wizard that you used to be now. Okay, and so working with these two beings will help you with that, becoming who you are meant to be, the wizard again, the healer, the alchemist. Okay, is very, very helpful, and it's going to be very beneficial for you. Okay, so that's what I have for you, Chris Garcia. All right, so let's see. And I don't know if Pamela was here. Pamela Hard is still here or not. Let me know if you're still here. And all those fireworks are outside. They're so loud. Oh, into the away. Oh, already. Oh, I already gave. Okay, I already gave her reading then. Thank you, Mara. Yeah. Yeah. You're welcome, Christian. All right, random pick. Let's do Tara Lopez. If you're still here, love, let me know. Tara Lopez. Or Martinez, sorry. Tara Martinez. Why did I say Lopez? Oh, because I saw J-Lo. Thinking Jennifer Lopez. Tara Martinez, let me know if you're still here, okay? Oh my God, guys. There you are. All right, love. So we're going to see who's with you right now, and see what guidance you have. So 2 aquatics just showed up. 2 feminine aquatics. So these are our actual mer people. Okay, mermaids, mer people, and then there's dolphins behind them too. So you have dolphin energy, and then you also have what looks like a killer whale behind them. So these 2 beautiful merm people are saying, just keep swimming, swimming. That's why I laughed, because that's like the first thing I heard when they appeared. All right, so one of them is like this beautiful blue color. Like she goes from like a very light blue tone skin to her hair being very like a kind of like a dark blue hair color. And then her fins is like a combination of both with a light and blue. And then the other one has like a pink tone skin with orange, like it goes from pink to orange. And then her hair is that the same way, like a pink to orange hair color. And then you got your 2 dolphin beings, and then the killer whale looking being. All right, so they're they're stepping forward, but they step to the side, and then they're showing this huge pearl coming down, down, and they're holding it up. Both of the girls are holding it up like this, like together. And they're saying the pearl of wisdom. The pearl of wisdom is already within you, and it's time for you to access it. So it's time for you to open it up, okay? And think about it in the sense of your guidance, of your intuition becoming the actual keeper of this wisdom, okay? So in order for you to access it, You have to trust it. You have to work with your intuition daily in order for you to access your pearls of wisdom, or your big, huge, gigantic pearl of wisdom that you can use whenever it is that you need it. Okay. So they're kind of emphasizing on doing like a past life thing, like doing a past life regression thing. I don't know if you've ever done this, where you've worked with your past lives, or had somebody guide you through a past life, so that you can integrate the lessons that you learn from it, as well as incorporate any wisdom, any guidance, or any magic, or any gifts that you had in this past lifetime. This is something very important for you to do, because this will help you on your current path, as well as help you have more confidence in the intuition that you have, okay, and that you're working with. All right. So these beings, these aquatic beings, said, because you're so close to the water, this is really important. They emphasize this. Stay close to the water, because this is where the intuition lies for you. This is where you connect deeply, as water itself is like a conductor of these forces, these unknown forces. And then that's how things are highlighted even more, and this is something funny, because I am a high majority of my chart, when you look at it, is a very earth chart. Like, I have a lot of earth more than anything else. I'm like overpowered with it, but I feel more intuitive when I'm in water. Like, when I take showers, I'm much more on point. When I drink a lot of water, when I'm doing water fasting, I'm much more on point, as well as when I'm in the water, like out in the lake and stuff like that, I feel much more in tune. So that's why I live close to the lake. And so for you, living close to water, that's definitely something that is going to highlight your intuition even more. You need it, right? It needs to wash. It's more like it needs to balance the earth heavy energy. All right. So that's what I have for you, Tara. Hopefully that makes sense. Said, I love the beach. We live so close to it too. Does this qualify as the water they reference? Yes. Any body of water. Yep. And for the ocean, so there's different forms of alchemy the water brings to us, different forms of gifts. So to me, I feel like the ocean represents the expansion of consciousness, right? Where we expand to the higher realms easily when we're in the ocean water. And then we have lakes that come from the ocean, right? And that's the same thing, but it also provides kind of like the stillness necessary for us to work in the higher realm, as the ocean continues to transform and move forward and continues to change, right? So it's rapid change of consciousness that the ocean provides. The lake, it's more of a gradual change, right? And then rivers are like whoosh, rapid, like you're just in for a wild ride with rivers. I swear, it was like, woo, like this minute you're thinking you're knowing something or learning something from a guide, and all bam, another one appears. It's like that. That's how I see it. So anyway, yeah. So that's what I have for you, Tara. Green Tara. Oh yeah, you're so right. Yeah, Mara. You are so on it. All right. So let's see who else we have. All right. Thank you, Lizzie, for yours, for your love donation. All right. You're welcome. Yes. Okay. So let's pick at random. And we got Christy Aphrodite. Were you here earlier for accessing the portal? You might want to look into that after, like, go back and rewatch that later when we're done with this live, because I feel like you're going to benefit greatly with being the portal keeper and becoming that with the Sirian energies for you, Christy, if you missed the beginning of the live. Okay. So we're just gonna do to see who's around you or who comes in for you for this. Okay, so we have two hybrid beings. We got an aquatic being, but we also have an avian or a ave or a bird-like being. Okay, so the aquatic being is not a mer person, but it's a hybrid, like kind of like similar to the one that I described for Colby. So he has, and they're both masculine. So he has like little webbing in between the hands and the feet and the ears as well. The body color is different than Colby's. Is a little a bluish tone, like an aqua color. Okay, an aquatic aqua color being. He's pretty tall. So he's like the hybrid between the mermaids and the actual Syrian beings, but he's like 6 foot something. And then you have the bird-like being is like a hawk-looking thing. So he's more hawk-looking than the other type of species that I described for someone else. So his eyes are like wide set, but they're huge, like dark color, like a brown, dark brown. His plumage is like, it goes from dark brown to red. And then his face it does go into a small beak, but again, humanoid structure though. And so he has wings on the back of his shoulder blades instead of his arms, but there is plumage all over. So this one is wearing like shields. The other one is more of like open. The aquatic being is the wizard-like being. The hawk is a warrior being. Okay, so the aquatic being is saying, okay, it's time for you to work your magic, time for you to transmute things, okay? Transmutation is very important, especially if we are opening portals through communicating with other people, through working with other people, through helping with other people, through things like that. Being in the open attracts a lot of people's energies, and it's retained within our energy body. It's time for you to whoosh, transmute and dump that energy out. Sometimes you hold energy and we retain it within our own cells. So it's really important for us to cleanse energy. So do whatever you need to do before you step into your sacred space, meaning your home, into your property. Let's do a quick cleanse, do an energy swipe, whoosh, whoosh, and release. I release other people's energies that doesn't belong to me. Whoosh, and I am purified, right? And then go into your sacred space, nice and purified. So then the hawk being is saying shielding is really important, and particularly around your sacred bubble when you are in public, so that it minimizes the infiltration of other people's energy, okay? It minimizes the infiltration of the environmental energies that are caused by the chaotic energy of others, right? Other people, sadness, other people's depression, other people's, stuff like that in the environment. So he's very much indicating the shielding is specifically so you don't have to retain all of that information or bring it all in. Okay, as a healer, this happens. Okay, it's a very common thing for healers to go through. So it's making sure you're mindful of that you say, today I'm going to step into the world and I'm not bringing anything back that doesn't belong to me, right? And the same thing when you are on the internet. These little things are portals. These little things are actual portals. This live is an actual portal. You recording yourself, putting yourself out there is an actual access portal as well. So it's very important for us to be shielded and to say, I am just giving information out. I am sending energy out, but I am not receiving any energy in unless it's pure love and it's pure unconditional love, right? So that's what we do. We create our medicine wheel. We create our circle of protection before we record anything, before we talk to anybody as well, like, talking on the phone, texting. We make sure our energy is purified, and we make sure that we are just sending love and receiving love, and that's it. Because as healers, we are so willing to assist unconsciously, even if we don't want to help people heal their shit, right? And so it's really important for you to be like, I am shielded. I am not allowing anything into my bubble unless it's pure love and light. Okay. And so that's what they both want you to know, and they're both here for you. Okay, they're both here for you whenever you need them, whenever you need some magic, whenever you need some protection. Let them do that work for you as well, and let any of your guides to come in and do some work. And if you need to purify your space, if you need a protection spell, do that. Okay, do whatever you need to do to get rid of other people's stuff. Okay, so that's what I have for you, Christy. Chicken on your head. Your chicken is your shield. You're welcome, Christy. You're welcome. Yeah, so for anyone, this applies for everyone, you guys. Like it took me a while to realize that we are accessing all the time. We are creating portals all the time through our communication with other people. We create that link, right? We create that access to our energy because we're communicating with them, right? And they create that access to their energy. And as healers in particular, we absorb their shit without wanting to, right? Because we're healers. And of course, when they're having a shitty day, they throw it at us, right? And so it's really important for us to create that energy saying, you know what? I am a healer and I'm willing to assist you when you ask for help, but I'm not going to assist you in throwing or dumping all your shit on me. You have to work for that yourself, right? You have to heal that yourself, right? And that's very important for us to do, is create those boundaries. And then, of course, when we do have our little devices that we're accessing, these are little portals too, right? We need to shield the portal itself. And we used to say, okay, we're opening it up to access this, but we're closing it after we're done accessing. And if we are communicating with people on social media, then we're saying we're disconnecting to this energy, and this energy is sent back to sender, and I bring back my energy, things like that. Because then we know that whatever chaos happens in our lives is because we allowed it in, right? But we also know whatever we're being thrown, we can throw it back or transmute it for them, right? It depends on your mood. I would say half of the time I would just throw things back to them. Get your shit out of here. But now I transmuted. I'm kinder now. I transmuted now. All right, so that's all I have, you guys. So we're gonna go ahead and close the circle. We're closing the circle. You guys can still access your Syrian guides anytime you want by opening that gateway. Allow it to come in and tell you, whatever you need to know at this time. But at this time, we're gonna close the circle. So everybody go ahead and let's connect. So let's go ahead and breathe in deeply. Exhale slowly, and we're going to do it counterclockwise. So instead of doing clockwise, you're opening a circle, you're closing the circle counterclockwise. So do that over your head. I close the circle now, and I thank the energies of the northern door. I thank the energies of the western door. I thank the energies of the southern door. I thank the energies of the eastern door. And I thank the energies of the mother below me. Please anchor in anything else that needs to be anchored, and continue to protect me, and continue to cradle me in your heart space and ground me. We thank our creator above us, and continue to work through us, continue to guide us in our life's purpose. And we thank all of our Syrian guides for your assistance tonight, and continue to walk with us through our day. And if there's any more messages that we need to receive, please give these messages to us in our dream space or through our meditation practice. And so it is, and so it is, and the circle is closed, and all portals are closed, and all energy is anchored. All right, so that's what I have for you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here, for allowing me to give you guys this insight on your own Sirian guides. I know this darn thing is like making me crazy, the focus. And keep exploring that, you guys. You can always connect to them anytime you want through dream space. You can always ask them to come in before you go to sleep, like give you guys a message in your dreams, or you can do it in meditation. You could just ask, okay, can you give me some guidance when you begin your meditation, things like that. Whatever you need to do, even if you want to walk with them, like say they're next to you, and you want to just explore with them throughout your day, you can do that too. So just talk to them like if you're talking to a friend, because they're there. Okay, they're listening. All right. You're welcome so much. Love you guys. And thank you so much again. And I'll see you guys next week. I'm going to be going live on the Mystical Illuminations channel with Toltec Shaman Microvinity. And we're going to be doing some readings for the new moon in Cancer. So we're going to do it a day before the new moon in Cancer. So we're still going to be in the new moon energy, but it's going to be, I think it's Gemini energy. So it's going to be blah, 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 you know. Anyway. Love you guys. I love Geminis. But yeah, so we're going to do it on the 8th of July on the Mystical Illuminations channel at 8 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Eastern. So that's 5 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Mountain, 7 p.m. Central. Okay, so I'll see you guys that day. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your holiday weekend. Happy 4th of July. Celebrate with your loved ones or celebrate alone, whatever you want to do. Have some fun, have some hot dogs, have some vegan dogs, whatever. Just have fun, okay? Love you guys. Bye-bye.